Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Major Cotton and we are back on the sea in our U-boat. We have just left the harbor and this is a good time actually to tell you a little bit about crew management. As soon as we hit the external view, we can pull the right trigger and bring up this crew menu. This part you already know with our officers and sailors. But there's more to it. When we hit R1, we can go over to our tasks. And there we see our officers and their assignments. So this guy here, Wilhelm Buchsbaum, has no assignment yet. And as you can see with this tool symbol here, he's probably being a good chief engineer. Or he could be a mechanic. And I think that's what will make him. So each of these officers has certain tasks assigned to them and priorities. So our mechanics get a priority 10 on repairing any damage that occurs, a priority 9 on loading torpedoes, maintaining torpedoes is priority 8, and salvaging replacement parts is priority 7, and each officer has a priority 11 on sleep. So when you do not assign them any specific tasks that they need to complete at the moment, they will fall back on that schedule. The chief boatswain here, he is calming down the crew when they are stressed. He's watching for contacts. He is very important for navigation, which is why we happen to have 2 of them. You start out with only 1. And Ulrich is also a low priority card player all the time to keep the morale high. And he is also assigned to cooking as well as Kurt and also myself. So we also have always some tasty meals on board. Next mechanic, basically same thing like the first one. Then we've got the chief boatswain, Kurt Hoffmann, concentrating on the same stuff like Ulrich, just minus the cards playing. Our chief engineer is dealing with damage and also with the engine. And me, I'm watch officer, calming down the crew on the watch, part-time navigator, part-time cook, and sleeping like everyone else. And here comes our shift schedule. You can create your own shifts, but this one is basically the default that the game creates for you, and I didn't see any reason to change it. And there, for each officer, you assign them to the specific shifts. So Wilhelm Buchsbaum, he's basically the counterpart to, let me just check again, Michael Knott exactly. So it makes sense to have them on alternating schedules. So we can now shorten the schedule of Michael, who has a 16-hour shift, we take away 4 hours, and this time we fill in with Wilhelm. So this is really beautiful because both of them need only like 8 hours sleep. We assign them to sleep by default, so they will always, or they will be very relaxed most of the time. And it's always good to have additional helping hands. The other schedules are combat proven, I'd say. Karl-Heinz Schuster has a very special one. I wouldn't like to have that. He's sleeping 2 hours, then he's working 3, sleeping 2 hours, working 3, and so on and so on, with 1 2-hour working shift to keep him happy, you know. But he has got the necessary amount of sleep in total, even more than that. So compared to the others, he's a happy bunny. And there's me, also with 16 hours working and 8 hours sleeping. Then you have a squads management screen where you can assign sailors to the officers. Wilhelm, being the new officer, has no sailors assigned to him yet. We have here 12, so there should be 3 sailors, right? That I haven't assigned to anyone. And if I have to guess, I think Felix Schmidt is probably unassigned. Yes, and Erik Schwarz. Just checking if there is no double assignment, but I think I got it right. That's perfect. Then we've got specializations that we can assign to our crew, but we don't have enough progress points to do so. And there's our boat schedule, and it's the dive schedule. And I'm spending 2 hours on the surface, 3 hours submerged, 2 hours on the surface, and so on and so on. With this one exception of only 2 hours under the surface. And reason for that is twofold. First of all, we consume no diesel when we are going on electric engines, and electric engines are charging themselves whenever we go on the surface from our diesel engine. So we save a lot of fuel, and when we are submerged, we can also listen to what's happening around us, and we can watch like maximum 5 miles, but we can listen for 100. And that makes quite a difference when you are looking for enemies. We have just left the harbor, and we're now going to accelerate the time a little bit, as well as our speed. Usually when cruising on the surface, I'm never going more than half ahead in order to reduce diesel consumption. Yeah, we stop direct orders here. When you have any open direct orders, they are not following their schedule, and they may become very tired because they stick to what you tell them to do. until they fall asleep and have to go to the officer's bunk. And that's represented by this blue sleep bar here. Currently, everything is perfect. But we are still far out from the danger zone. But as soon as we leave the harbor, we can increase the time speed or sim rate as we know it from Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think they call it time compression, if I'm not mistaken.
So tired.
And you can go up to 15,000. So, and as we are now already south of Norway, yes, we were technically all the time south of Norway, but you know what I mean. Close to the coast, I think we are going to activate our dive schedule, because we were currently fixed to surface. And now I click on dive schedule. And we're not diving yet, but we will be diving at 2200. So let's speed it up again.
Time for a break. Periscope depth.
And now we're diving, and you see our radio officer is manning the listening room automatically. If you assign the priorities wrong or just leave the default ones, he will rather stick to the radio when the radio is available. But I don't deem that necessary. I only want him on the radio when I got an incoming transmission going. Over there we have several status icons. Not so many currently, but they can get a lot. Telling you that your submarine is not tidy or radio transmission coming in. So we tell our radio officer to go to the radio room for a change. Ah, yeah. Need to click on that again. My mistake. I was just wondering where's the radio transmission.
Another U-boat has just reported a possible target within our range.
Now we got directions where we could choose to go before we head to our patrol sector. It's Alpha November 522, medium speed northern course. We try to memorize that because as soon as we hit confirm, it's gone. AN 522, northern course. AN5 is where we are, that is good. We look for AN52, AN522, northern course, and we even get this little cone. But it tells us speed is high, so at 80 plus kilometers, it's really unlikely we're going to catch up. I can go on the surface and go full speed like 26 kilometers per hour, but this appears rather hopeless to me, going from my experience. So we will rather continue our journey then.
Captain, we've risen to the surface. Yes, sir. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, he's constantly maintaining torpedoes. This may appear strange to you, but when you don't, it happens very often that they become a dud, which is a torpedo that fails to ignite on impact. and that's really not
Depth.
in your
Ready for
favor.
surface observations.
Oh, and he should clear his current order to stick to the radio. So we take this one off. Here we can remove the currently assigned task individually. And we are nicely submerged at periscope depth. He's watching, the other one is listening.
Captain, we've risen to the
Let's
surface.
speed it up a little bit.
Ready for duty.
Oh, we got
Copy.
another
Incoming
transmission from U55.
Captain, we're at periscope depth. Ready for surface observations.
Torpedo in tube 4 maintained.
What was the message? No idea. Okay, never seen that one actually. Oh! Now it gets interesting. We got one unit, 80 plus kilometers, bad speed medium. If he's traveling north, maybe we can catch up.
Captain, we've risen to the surface.
No, we can't.
Notified by a nearby U-boat of a probable target in the area.
Funnel smoke, bearing 35 degrees.
Okay, what's this? Radio transmission. Convent Square, Alpha November 432, pursuing 8 steamers, 5 escorts distinguish, northeastern course. Alpha November 432, northeastern course. Four three two northern course. That's about 300k away. This one, on the other hand, this could be interesting. So I keep going in the general direction of this contact.
Flank ahead.
And we go full ahead. And I want us to stay on the surface.
Funnel smoke, bearing 350 degrees.
Okay. I want to see that. Yeah, I would really like to see that. Oh yes, there is funnel smoke. Just ahead on the horizon and traveling to the left from our position. We are almost perpendicular to the contact, so we change our course down there and speed up the flow of time. When it's traveling alone, it's usually a careless freighter.
Maintain. Torpedo in tube 3 maintain. Torpedo in tube 4 maintain.
And we can send a report, which I'm doing right away. You can also delay the report, it does no harm. But sending it can actually do harm to you if the report is intercepted and the position of your sub is triangulated,
Set a course to these coordinates.
which we hope to
Merchant
just
ship
not happen.
345
Yep,
degrees.
merchant ship, hooray! There she is. Ah, okay, there's only 4 times zoom here. So we have got to adapt our course. We could also do that manually from here.
Helm, turn 20 degrees. Port. Rudder amidships.
Yeah, that course should be about right, but we'll see about that. I could of course torpedo it, but we are missing important information. Where was it again? I cannot spot it anymore. There it is. If I see that correctly. I think it's a British ship. Looking bad. We keep going. It's a Norwegian ship.
Torpedo in tube 5 maintain. Helm, turn 20 degrees. Port.
Oops, I'm turning too far.
Turn 15 degrees. Starboard.
Yeah, turning is something you better do without time acceleration.
Helm, turn 20 degrees. Starboard.
Here we go straight again.
Ships.
If this were an enemy ship, it would automatically trigger an alarm. But as Norway is neutral, there's no alarm and we have to investigate first, so we are getting closer. 37 kilometers per hour. This is due to Horst Weber maintaining the diesel engines, and he has got 2 assigned sailors working with him. So that makes us extremely fast. I mean, compared to a freighter. But in a submarine, don't fool yourself, you will not outrun a destroyer. Those things are faster than we are.
Turn 15 degrees. Torpedo engine 1 maintained.
And I'm turning again. Without turning off the time acceleration.
Amidships.
And you see here, that's the interaction menu that already popped up, but we are a little bit too far out. As we get closer, it will tell us that we are too fast, which is the indication that we are close enough and we can slow down. Then we can start interacting. Tiny course correction.
Rudder 20 degrees. Port. Rudder amidships.
And now the time has come that we're moving too fast.
All engines
I stop our engines. And now we can interact. And I can send a delegation over. I could tell them that I intend to sink the ship, but I don't want any diplomatic mess up here. So available officers, I'm too tired it seems. I could drink coffee to make myself untired. But anyway, we take Karl Heinz because he speaks many languages. And who is the guy who can scuttle ships? Damn it, I still don't know what the symbols mean, so we... What? Why do you have scrap metal with you? Remove that. Do we have anything we want to take with us? No. Ah, damn it. I forgot something in the port. I didn't buy dynamite. And I could have bought other items. Anyway, we'll get along without that. And we add some sailors. Perfect. That's a good delegation. Gentlemen, go on your mission. Then we gotta wait a little while for them to arrive. Your crew climbs the deck with some help from the cargo ship crew. After that you are welcomed by the ship's captain, but he tries to communicate in English and doesn't speak German too well. Luckily, Felix Schmidt speaks fluently in English, so there is no language barrier. After exchanging pleasantries, he invites you to a private room in the deck house. Of course we accept. And now put the cards on the table, Captain. What's on board and where are you going? You request the captain's documents that detail the cargo on his ship and its destination. A flicker of unease crosses his face and he produces the papers with a slight hesitation. As you carefully review their contents, his hands clench and unclench, a bead of sweat forming on his brow. According to the documents, the ship is headed to Port of London and is carrying medical supplies. It seems that this ship is trading with blockaded Allied ports, and it's a fair price for you to sink it. Of course, we gladly accept. And we inform the captain that this ship is doomed. But as we are nice guys, he can leave it along with his crew. Captain isn't happy about this outcome. He clearly accepted that there is nothing he can do to avoid this from happening. Of course, we are a fucking warship. You are screwed. He doesn't respond to you, but instead starts to shout out to his crew and organizes evacuation of the freighter. Beautiful. Goodbye, Captain. Ah, got the wrong engineer here. So wait, but good thing is I know now what the icon is. And I just need one single guy. He can do the job. Oh, know what? I give you 2 sailors. And you go over. Takes another short while for them to get there. But it's much quicker than shooting the ship, which would in addition waste our precious ammo. Go to an engine room, please. Scuttle without using the explosives. Bloop, 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 bloop. And there's our first success. Beautiful.
Report sent.
And as everyone knows, we were the good guys in World War II. Wink, wink. No, we weren't, of course. But anyway, I feel the obligation to invite some people on board, but not you. That was the same lifeboat again, right? Lifeboat 2. Yeah, exactly, because you are an officer. So I confirm you, and the others can stay on their boat. But the nice person I am, I give them some canned fish. They're Norwegian, they liked it. And you see, my reputation increases from that. So I consider it a fair deal.
Torpedo and tube 2 maintained.
And you get some fish. And another 5%. And then okay. No, I don't want to send a diver actually. Or we send a diver. Who is the brave diver? That's the question. Not the guy who can sink the ship. Not the guy who can speak many languages. I'm too tired. Wilhelm! Yeah, Wilhelm, I think you're a great diver. And you see, you even get a diver suit. Congratulations. Enjoy the ride. Because I want to see if there are any supplies that I can salvage. Looks interesting. But I don't see anything that I could interact with. So maybe this excursion was just for the joy. But you see, our boy is enjoying it. Oh yeah, medical supplies, they said, right. Yeah, we take that. We take what we can. And we can close this. And then we return to surface. And as I don't want to wait the full 2 minutes, we will just speed up time. 13:01. Oh, skip the wait time. And I guess we are finished here. Thank you very much. We can continue our journey. And this nice catch is going to conclude our second episode. I hope you enjoyed it, although it was missing a little bit of violence. But trust me, next episode, shots will be fired. So, I hope you tune in again and look forward to seeing you. Have a good one. Take care. Major Cotton, over and out.